So the questions we have, what are the total sales? Which countries and customers and products perform best? Are sales improving? Which employees generate the most revenue? So let's create measures. So we're going to need the totals, for all the sales, profit, costs, all of those. Let's have them created, and they are quite simple. But we, just for the purpose of organizing them well, we are going to put our measures in a table, this table, which we'll create, using the center data, which we have seen how it works before. This, if you want to manually create a table within Power BI, that's one option to use and create it. Okay, but in this case, we just need this table to house our measures. Okay, so we're going to name it measures and just load it. And it is on here that we'll be having, and if we look on it's still loading, it will add it to the tables on the right hand side, which is here, right here. So as I'm hovering on here, we see the 3 dots, which will show for each of the other tables as well. Okay. And the very first option says new measures, new columns, new quick measures. Those are the different options you have here. In this case, we are creating a measure. And measures are like virtual calculations that we create just to float around. They don't physically reside in your report, but they are there and they can be used in any way that you really want them to be used, So they are quite very handy to have. So so if we start with the total sales first, total sales, and we are just going to be summing the sales column. So we call up the sum in orders table. I'll start typing orders so that we have orders. And we can scroll down and look for, we don't need initial sales, is sales before discount. So yeah, total sales price. This one here is what we need. Okay, so, and I'll close that bracket and commit that. You can press enter on your keyboard if you want, and that's has now been added into our table. Now this column 1, because it was just a placeholder, it's nothing. Now that I have one column that can hold the table, I can delete this column 1, which is not really, really necessary right now. I'll delete that. And then we'll create the other measures, okay? So total profit, total cost, all of those, we'll quickly create them. So total profit equals sum of the, again, in orders table. So I'll start typing orders, and then we'll look for profit. Profit is right here, okay? I'll close the bracket and commit that. And then we can do for cost as well. Okay, so total cost, again, new measure, total cost equals the sum again, we sum it. I'll start to type orders so that we jump straight into orders. And if we scroll down, we have all total cost here. There we go. Okay. So that is it. And then we can calculate profit margin. Profit margin compares your profit to your sales, to the actual total sales. Okay, so if we say profit margin, it just tells us how much of the total sales that come in, what percentage of it is actually profits, basically. So we'll use the divide function in this case because we are going to be dividing. So I'm calling up the divide, and we can see as this opens up, it says, what's the numerator? Profits. Now, this is where, is it branching they call this, where you can reuse a measure that you have created before. We are going to be reusing the measures that we have created. Total profit measure is what I'll call up. Okay. Comma, what's the denominator? Total sales is the denominator. Okay. Alternative result, if it's not a divisible, if it's not divisible numbers, the one we normally say impossible back then, it should bring 0. That's the alternative. That's not compulsory for us to put there. I'll close the bracket and commit that. And because profit margin is normally in percentage, I'll change that. While we're on the profit margin that we just made, I'm just going to change that to a percentage by clicking on percentage on there. Now let's quickly, let's save the work that has just been done because we don't have what to save here. Okay, so let's quickly validate, see all the figures that we have created. Let's quickly put them in card visuals, just to be sure that there are numbers there, that they are valid. Okay, so for the first one, I'm putting total sales. Okay, that gives us 1.35 million, which is all right. Okay, that's the total sales. You can decide to click out and get another card visual. Okay, and bring the total costs in. That's the total costs. Okay, click out another card visual. Let's bring the profits. Okay, it's giving us a negative profit here. So a loss was made is what this is saying. So if total sales is, there shouldn't really be a loss, should there? If total, okay, I think I might have done this profit wrong. Because normally profit is sales minus cost. Let's use sales minus cost and see what that would give us, because I don't believe this number is right. Okay, so
and it's negative as well.
yeah, negative would mean that
Loss.
there's a loss, and I don't believe that's what happened. And this total cost as well is quite, if all the sales is in millions, and this is 56.5. Let me convert this to millions as well and see. So if we use the paintbrush and we are looking for the call out. Is it the call out? Call out the value. Under value. Okay. I'm looking for where it gives you the chance to change the unit of, of the, okay, let's look at the calculation. I picked the wrong, can you see? It should be total cost. I picked unit price for cost. So I picked the wrong one. This is my fault. So let's go for unit total. We need total cost price. Again, this is why it's good to recheck the numbers. If the numbers are somehow, then chances are that something is really not right. Okay, let's see. Let's make sure I picked the right. Okay, so total sales price, that's correct. Then profits. Profit, sum of profit, that's correct as well. Okay. And then cost. Okay. So what we are seeing now is that, yeah, the total profit is actually a loss that's made. When profit is in negative, that's not profit anymore. That's a loss. So I think this is correct now. Okay, because if we had decided to use the method of sales minus cost, which is also a way to look at profits, to calculate profit, let's create that and give it total underscore profit, to give it a different name, but it's the same profits that we are talking about. So equals total sales minus total costs. Okay, so that's just simple calculation. And if we now put that in a card visual, the one with underscore now, and it's the same value. Okay, so it could be because, maybe it's because of the discounts that were given. If we want to, we can leave it like this because that's what the data is saying, you see. But if I decide to not use, and this is just a decision I'm making because I want to see a positive profit. If I say that let's go back into total sales and use that initial sales price, the sales price before discounts were taken. Okay, so let's go and use initial sales price. See if that will boost the figure. Okay. So now if sales is 1.45 and cost is 1.35, that should change our profits. This profit is not changing, this is changing. This is saying we've got 94.91K. This should mean almost 1 million, I believe. Now, why this is okay, this will not change because, okay, we go back into the calculation for it as well. Sum of, okay. We won't use this. Let's use the one with your underscore. Because in the actual table, if we go back into orders table, when this was being made, we used total sales, not initial. That's why that is like that. So if I edit query and show what I'm talking about. Okay. So when we were creating this subtraction, which gave us, let's wait for it to finish putting. Okay, which gave us the profit, this profit here. It was this stage, and we used, if I open that up, close, it's still refreshing. Okay, I think it's ready now. So if I click on that stage, we cannot modify. Why? But it has finished refreshing now. Okay. So where we have total sales minus total cost price. If we use total initial, what's the name of that column instead of total sales price? Total sales price is when after the discount was applied, and that's giving us negative profits. So I'm suggesting that for this project, let's do without the discount. And that's why we are using initial sales price, which we calculated before the discount was applied. Initial sales, this initial sales price here. So if I change that to initial sales price, I change initial here in the formula bar. As long as we get the spelling completely right, the way it is in the initial. Okay. I think that is okay. Initial sales price. Initial sales price. Okay. So initial sales price minus total cost price. Okay. So that should change it now. If I close and apply, both profits should have the same figure now. This is just a matter of I mean, if we were at work, of course, it will just use what is presented to us. If the business needs to see that actually they made a loss because of the discount that they gave, that will help them to decide next time to review the discount that they are giving that is making them lose profit. That's why it's necessary to do these things, okay? So normally at work level, we just present what we find. We found that we made a loss. What caused the loss? Because we gave discount. If we didn't give discount, we would have made at least a bit of profit. So that would make them go back to the drawing board and review. Do we want to give discount next time, or do we want to reduce the discount that we are giving? Where we gave 15%, maybe we should have made it 2%.
Why was it discounted at the initial stage?
Exactly.
Was there
Exactly.
any reason?
Exactly. So maybe we'll actually have a dashboard. We'll create a page where we use that total sales and use that negative profit to say maybe discount analysis. We want to see the impact of discounting that we have done, what it has done to our sales and our profit. I think that will be, after we've created this part, we should do that as well as a dashboard for discount review, so to say. If we can, whatever fine name we are able to give to it, we can give to it. Okay, I'm just trying to remove all these decimals, and I want you to give us actual figures. That's what I'm looking for within all these. Sorry. Let them know I can't talk now. Within all these, so and normally it will be under call out. But let me look at cards. Anywhere we have value, we are looking for the value and where we can, yeah, it should be under call out. So not the card itself. Call out is the number itself. So, and it's saying apply to what? Okay, maybe I need to choose total sales. Okay, I need to choose. Okay, so because it's a multi-row card, we could have used, actually in one card, we could have actually, okay, I'm doing the wrong thing, but we'll correct that. Because it's a card with many rows, we could have put all of this in one, in all of them in there, and we'll be fine. Okay, so I'm looking for, yes, display units. It's picked automatic, which is normal, but I don't want the units. I just want you to give us the figure. Okay, so let's bring this down and just use the card function the right way. It's not the single card row, which I'm used to. So let's click on that. And if we go back to check, you will see it says card. Okay, but it's a there used to be two types of card, but now I see just one. But let me see. If I pick all of the other, yes, this is what we could have easily done. We just need to keep expanding. Okay, so we put all of the values. So that's sales cost, profits, drop it there. What else? Profit margin, we drop it there as well. Okay, so all of our profit is 6.55%. We can make this look better. Too many decimals are not really necessary because this is an overview dashboard. I'm going to delete these ones. We don't need those because we have a card that lets you input as many as possible values here. Okay, so I can go into my paintbrush very, very quickly under call out value and pick each one. For total sales, the value, how do I want the value to be displayed? First, I want it to be Arial because I'm used to Arial. There's no better reason than that. And I don't want decimal places. So value of decimal places, I want it to be 0. Okay, and that makes that look neater. Okay, and the same goes for, so if I actually, to make my life easy, when we had all, I want to apply that to all. Okay, so Arial, so that it does all of them at the same time. Arial, the color is black, is fine. Okay, what else? It's not letting me because they have different values. So that's where it was allowing me to put different decimal places disappeared when I used all. Okay, so I'll go to total cost and do those one by one then. So display units, none as well. And the decimal places, 0. Okay, for that as well. The same goes for total profit. So call out. Let's pick total profit now. We can leave the profit margin appearing like that under value. We can put this as 0 and display units is none as well. Okay, so we can see that we've got 94,000, which is quite a small, it's still a very small profit. Looking at all this, if we are making, 1.4 and we spend 1.3 and we're making 94,000. Depends on and it's within 2 years. This data set spans from 96 to 98. So around a year plus or 2 years, that's quite small, and that's in my own view, but data don't lie. Okay, and then let's not forget that we made a decision to use the cost price that was used as well. We found that price within the product catalog, and we decided, okay, this must be the cost price because it's actually slightly smaller than the sales price that's on orders table. Okay, so that decision as well. These are all decisions that one would need to document. If I don't think I've opened the, no, I didn't open the data analysis process documentation, that template, which I shared on the platform. Okay, so all the assumptions that we are making, we're supposed to be documenting them, how we brought the data set in, the cleaning that was done, the calculations that was done in Power Query, we can put them down. In fact, we're supposed to actually have an already, like you've done a sketch of how you want this dashboard to look like, so that you have a finished products. Then we can then build towards that, so that we're not just winging it as we go. That's the proper thing that one should have done. Okay. One thing as well that I like to see effects, I like to see the visual background and a bit of shadow to it, okay? And we can use the top bits for whatever name we want to give this, okay? On the business need document, it says executive sales overview. Okay, so we can type that. We can type that in and say, this is our executive sales overview dashboard. Okay, so if I insert text, okay, bring it up. We need it at the top. Help, yeah, I am. Okay, we need it around here. And we can call that executive. Okay, let's use capital Ultra executive sales overview dashboard. We just need to put that word. Okay, and we can fill these up the way we want it. Again, I'm used to this. We can, let's see what 20 would give us. Maybe a bit bigger. If we can center it like that. Okay, and we can decide to bolden it. Okay, whatever, you can decide to give it a kind of color, depends on the business of the day, what it is. I don't know, whatever ara that you want to da, you can use this to da, however you want it. Okay. Normally you would have also decided your color palettes that you want to use for these. Okay, but yeah, so let's save that. Okay, and other questions that we have, there's more one can do here. Okay, like all those labels, all those call out labels, the titles that are below. Okay, those are the labels. You can look under and see what options are there for you to work with. Okay, they are always using this ego. So if we change that just for consistency, I don't like gray color for reading purpose. Okay, am I changing all? I hope I've picked all to change. No, I'm only changing one. So let's pick all and hope that I can still, yeah, okay. So Arial, we can increase it tiny bits. We can give it black for readability, for better readability. Don't know if we bolden it, if that would, no, okay. Let's not bolden it, okay. And we can leave that like that for now, okay. And the next question, 5 more minutes. I've forgotten does anyone have access to our, what's it called? Attendance link? I've always been forgetting to put attendance for us to sign for the past 2 weeks or so now. It says which countries, customers, and products performed best. Okay, so best performing country, best performing customer, best performing products. Okay, so again, how do we want this to be displayed? Okay, and that would be when we say performing, is it the one that gave us the highest sales or the highest profit? Okay, that decision needs to be made. We can decide in terms of both sales and profit. Okay, and you want to decide again which visual will best highlight that for you. Okay, so we'll need customer. So if I use these, okay, and we bring customer in from customers table, the company name. If I use the company name, and if we are thinking in terms of sales, total sales, and we just want the highest one, only the highest performing customer. We want them displayed as the highest performing, okay? I'm actually trying to think, I'm thinking that it should be, card visual should be our best bet, okay? But let's see how we filter this down to the highest performing, okay? It's something we could have easily used DAX, which is a calculation to get, but most of the time I can be lazy using DAX. I look for ways to actually do this within the filters, okay? So is all the options I can see here under total sales is less than, is greater than, is all I see here. And can we use company name? Let's see basic filtering. Let's see all the top. Okay, we can use top, advanced filtering. What's under advanced? We can actually, okay, advanced says contains, does not contain. That's not going to help us. So, but if we say we want the best performing, so top end, and top end will be our top one in this case because it's the best performing. Okay, so top one by which value? What value do we want to use? We are using sales right now. So I'm going to drag total sales into here by total sales value, okay? And can you see that apply filter came in? Okay, and now we can see that quick stop is our best performing. But I think it would be best if we use card visual and just let it give us the name. I'm just thinking, okay? So if we let it just give us the name, it's a card visual. They don't necessarily want to see. Or what do you think? Should I leave it at what I had before and just conform it to appear? How do you think we should present this best performing company? Is this the best way to showcase this? What are your thoughts?
Is it in terms of visualization? Maybe we should change the bar, or what are you asking?
Yeah, I think we should just, I'm thinking of if we have a card and we have title on top and we put best performing and the name of the company just, and we will know that we would have confirmed it here. For example, let me remove this visual. Okay, let me not remove it in case we will come back, and in case it's the one we will come back and use. So let's say we say best performing now, and we put name all the names of the customers now, because we start with the customer. It's going to display all their names, but we don't want all of their names. We only want the best performing. Okay, so if we now go into click on these, and we drag total sales into this field, okay, and we say that it should show us not all the names, but only the top one. The top one. So we put one there, and it's saying by what value, and we say by total sales. We drag total sales there. Is that gonna work? Because it's not letting me drag. Okay, and we apply that, and you see it brings quick stop as the best performing. We are just going to make this card look nicer. The way it's showing it now, I don't like the way it's showing it. Okay. But if we come into here, and because it's a yeah, this multi-card, I don't like the multi-card. So, but if we go into title, we turn the title on and we say best performing customer, best performing customer. And then we put sales because we are using sales to judge in this case, sales. Okay. So they will know what they are viewing. Okay. Either we use that or we use the bar. Which do you think would work best for you after we have done, make them look really nice? At the moment, is the visual is not really doing much justice. But the end product, if we work on the end product for both of them, I want this to fill the place up. And there's a place here where you can category header, the padding, there's quite a few. Okay. There's quite a few messing about that you could do. Oh,
Which one is the padding?
I'm trying to expand. You see where this quick stop, where the name is appearing. I'm trying to change the space, expand this space so that it's not on a tiny line like this. That's what I'm trying to do. If it was the card I'm used to, it will just display the name nicely, like boldly like that, not all these lines in between that is disturbing it. Those lines are giving me, you see, so imagine there's no middle line here, and this quick stop is displayed more boldly like that. And we will know that anytime, and the way we've done it, anytime the sales changes, these changes, maybe next month we've added more, and for next month, it's no longer quick stop that is giving us the best sales. It's another, it will just change automatically. So each refresh that you refresh your data set, you can see the new best performing in terms of customer, in terms of products, and all of that. Okay. So this one now, we can just quickly copy the visual and do it for products, as well. So in this case, we will just remove company name. We'll remove this and we'll put products from products table, maybe products name, category, products name. And in this case, company name doesn't work anymore. So it will be company name that we drag into the visual. Okay, there's product name here already. Okay, so we can just say that we want not basic filtering, top one by total sales. Again, by total sales. So we drag total sales in here and we put 1 here. And we can see if we apply that, we see that this is the product that is currently our best performing products. Then we can change the title from, say, customer, because we copied that. You just remove customer and put products where customer is. Products. Okay. So maybe that's the option we should use. The one that is more user-friendly, is what we are going to be going for in the end. Okay. So And then we'll do for profit. Maybe below this, we'll have best performing in terms of the product. Okay. So currently this is customer products. And what is the third one? It says, and countries. Okay. Countries. Okay. So if we go into countries, country is, that would be a dicey one because we don't have, we don't have, we only have countries in the customers, no, in the orders. Yeah, actually it can work. In the orders table, I believe we have countries there. Okay, so if we copy and paste and quickly run it for country as well. Okay, so in this case, no longer product. We're going to orders and go and pick country from there. But not ship country. We want the country where customers have bought from. Can we see country? No, I can't see
Yeah,
country.
is it ship country?
No, it's not ship country. It's country that made the most order. Country is under customers, but I'm just wondering if we pick it
Yeah,
from,
we have country. We have country. That's it.
yeah, this one. But if we
Yeah.
pick it, okay, let's use it. Okay, so we'll remove this and bring country to, okay, we now have country. So we say top N for country, top one, and then drag total sales into the value and apply, and it's the US, okay? And we can change that title so that we don't mislead those using it that this is now country. So best performing country. Okay, what have I done? Okay, best performing country. Country. Okay, for sales, okay. So that would help us to answer that, okay? So again, anytime we refresh and we've added more data and all this change, it would keep changing according to what the reality of our data set, and all you would just need to do is refresh. Or if we publish it to the service, it would have set it to automatically refresh, maybe daily or monthly or weekly. And we won't need to do much except anything changes, if anything breaks within the data. Okay, so that answers these two questions. Are sales improving? We want to look at trend, maybe trend analysis over time, see if sales are improving. Okay, and which employee generates the most. So maybe tomorrow we'll start with our sales improving and which employees generates said the most revenue. Okay. Total revenue we have done, total orders. We didn't count the number of orders that were made yet. So we'll need to do that. Average order value, number of customers, we haven't counted those. Those are all part of our KPIs, that we can quickly. So tomorrow we'll count orders, count products, count customers in our measures, okay, and see over time, did sales improve or drop over time, okay? And that should give us more than enough to look into for tomorrow if we start early enough. All right. Any question? Any question at all? Let's name this page sales overview. Okay. All right. If there are no questions, I want to say thanks to us for making it to class. Let me stop recording.